This did have a guard on the front of it. I pulled that thing off and I cut that notch in there. Now this has got this gear drive on that side. So I didn't notch that out because I didn't want that affecting the motor. But this side, basically trying to make a brush mower on the cheap. I don't care that much about this mower. I'm just taking you along for the ride here to show you kind of my process to see if we can get this thing up and running again. Can't find my oil drip pan in the garage, so we're going to make one. And to make a drip pan, when you don't have one, just take a cardboard box and a couple of trash bags. So we'll cut the box down to size, get rid of these flaps, and then we'll line the box with the trash bags. So we'll let it drain and then we'll come back. Our oil has drained. There you can see it's in our makeshift pan. And what we'll do is we'll tie that up, both bags, one inside the other, so you've got like a double layered bladder, if you will. Wipe down the outside of the bag and then we'll get it disposed of at the parts store. So we got our oil changed and I pulled the plug. It didn't look too bad. I'll probably go ahead and get a replacement anyway, because I decided to take a look at the tarp and pull the air filter off this thing. Again, I didn't own this new DOESNT, that air filter. It's just nasty, right? And oh, there we go. Alright, so that's not bad enough. Thought, well, air filter doesn't look too good. Let's go ahead and pull the bowl off the carburetor. And as soon as I started pulling that thing, you could smell it. The gas had turned to, I guess it's varnish, but that float bowl, if it's like my other Craftsman, which is Briggs & Stratton, should be white. That looks like it's probably supposed to be copper. And then this, the bowl itself, the bowl should be shiny. So this carburetor is going to need some TLC. When I pulled that air filter off, it looked like tar almost, like really runny kind of tar or honey, and that was a bad sign right away. So yeah, clearly this carburetor, which has sat for years, is going to need some love. I might have one of these primers. I hope so, because clearly that thing is cracked and it is not gonna last. Alrighty, so I think I got what I need. Pull this carburetor out here. We'll start this mount for the air cleaner. Looks like there's 2 screws here, and then I'll have to undo these nuts and bolts, and this linkage probably just kind of lever it out of there. So that's where we're starting for now. It looks like it's kind of fixed in there. I'm not going to try and pry it out. We don't need to do that. I'm having trouble getting to this nut that's right there. Yeah, it's a tight fit back in there. I'm thinking is I'm going to try and take this cover off of that one. See if we can get to it from that way. Look at there. Okay, fuel tank is off. Yeah, that was dumb. Let me show you what kind of stupidity I just engaged in. So when I pulled that off of there, the oil dipstick tube popped out, and there's the oil. Alright, the oil's cleaned up, much as I care to clean it up for the moment. Lesson learned. And to anybody who's watching out there and saw me tipping this thing and has done that before, or you're some kind of lawnmower, small engine mechanic, whatever, you were probably laughing thinking, this idiot's going to go ahead and do that. Well, yeah, I did. You're welcome. Part of this is the entertainment value, but try not to tear that gasket because I'm going to have to reuse it. I don't have any kind of a rebuild kit for this thing, so. Alright, linkage is loose from right here. Yeah, look how nasty that is. Alright, so there's our carb, and it does not look good at all. So I'm just going to go to town on this with some carburetor cleaner and see how well we can make this thing run, how well we can clean it up. So here's some before. And here's after. And that's what the bowl looks like. It shouldn't look like that. It should look like this aluminum. You see that silver ring? That's what it all should look like, not this green. So I'm going to hit that with carb cleaner and see if I can get this material out of here. And if I can't, I don't have a sandblaster, but I have a soda blaster, and I'll give that a shot. Alright, boys and girls, it's a little better. Actually, it's quite a bit better. I don't know if the camera can really tell that. There's still some of it on there. Again, this is basically a brush mower. That's how it's going to spend the rest of its life. So let's start putting things back together. Change the spark plug, new air filter, and we'll go from there.
yeah, helps if you use the right part. Duh. That's another little trick. If you're starting to screw something in, it feels like it's cross-threaded. You know, obviously that's like way off. Just keep backing it up. Keep backing off your bolt or not, whatever. And right there, I don't know if you saw that, but there was a little click. And that's generally where the threads kind of align. And then whatever you're trying to tighten up should just go right on. That should be plenty tight for this. And just so you guys know, that's the nut there that I was talking about. It's a tight fit. And I had to remove all this other stuff from the top of the motor. Oh, our linkage came loose. Oh no, the end of the world right there. Or is it? Yeah. This is a really kind of tight setup that they have here, which I don't understand, but and I think I did something wrong on that linkage because it keeps wanting to pop out of there. So maybe I'm in the wrong hole. No, I don't know. I don't think it'll fit in these smaller holes. Yeah, sort of does. I'll go back and look at the video and make sure here in a minute. Okay folks, we're back, and as it turns out, I was right that I was wrong. And what hole we're going into is actually on the other side of this. The leakage goes into this far side here. So, disconnect it here. And so we go into this hole here, which this should just be a barrel of laughs trying to get that in there. Come on, just pop in. Be nice. Ooh, yeah. There we go. And let's break the camera while we're at it. Yeah, that feels better. Much better, folks. Okay, linkage is set up. Now before you say, oh, you're going to button that thing up and it's a nasty, nasty mess. Yeah, it was. But went at it with the brush, cleaned a bunch of that crap off. Just that old junk, probably leaves. Like I said, it looked like there was some old dog hair or something in there. But yeah, it's looking much, much better now. And I wanted to show you that before I button it back up. When you're going at something like this, especially if you're going to break out the compressed air, make sure that you're plugging all of the lines that could get contaminated, fuel lines, air filter, etc. So, going to start putting things back together. Alright folks, we've got her almost buttoned up here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now we still have to deal with this little doohickey. That primer there, she be shot. Yeah. Just got this plastic cover here. Okay, so all the pieces that were taken off are now pretty much back in place. The next thing I'm going to do is reconnect the fuel hose, put our air cleaner assembly back on with a new air filter, and we're going to change out that spark plug. So, pretty simple design. You can't screw this up. One side is completely solid and the other side has a hole in it. You can get a boot puller, or you just pull it off. The right size socket. In this case, we're talking a 13/16. Put it on in there, give it a little pop. Make sure you can see this. So we get it hand tight. A little bit of a turn there. Don't go crazy. I'm not putting much pressure on that at all. And then we reattach our boot. Okay. Well, it sort of made the decision for me pretty easy. All I did was just tug on it just a little bit, and the thing fell apart. And this looks like it's about the same size, so I'm going to try and yank this thing out of there and see if this will fit. Okay, that the other one I put in here, it's not in there 100%. You can see it's leaking. I tried to use a socket to pound it in there a little bit better. I mean, it is darn close. So maybe if I put some RTV or something around the edges of this, it would seal it up. But I think at least to get it running, this should work. Okay, new plugs installed, and oil is checked. Got fuel, and sort of have a primer there. I don't know why I'm bothering with this, but I don't think that's doing anything. Well, let's give her a shot. Well, folks, you know when you've been beat, and I've sort of been beat, but pretty sure I got the problem narrowed down, and it's my carburetor. Don't think those things are worth rebuilding. Last one I had to buy was for this Craftsman, which is a Briggs & Stratton. That was 18 bucks. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find a carburetor for this thing. That way I get the real bulb and everything. I'll give you a shot of why I think what's going on is it's not feeding fuel. The jet's probably plugged or something. The bowl definitely has fuel in it, and so it's getting fuel. So I'll spray some starter fluid in here, give her a couple cranks, and you'll see her start up, but then she's going to die once it runs out of starter fluid. So yeah, instead of wasting any more time with this, we're going to put a new carb on this thing if I can find one. Otherwise, it's been suggested that you can boil them in white vinegar, and that usually cleans all the passages out, but I don't want to stink up the house with that stuff. So we'll find a carb. More to come.